That's a reality. It's true. I mean, I've talked because the reason is right now they're doing due to some infrastructure issues in Peru, they're doing what's it called, like lights out by zones, by regions, by neighborhoods, right?
Brownouts.
Brownouts? Is that what it's actually planned?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So they're doing planned brownouts in certain regions, and unfortunately, it's the Lagos region that's being affected right now. Like honestly, you can't be more unlucky. It was also not told to the people, because of course, why wouldn't it? So
that's very unfortunate. Yeah, you know, again, not to condemn Omega or to talk about them like they're a dead team or anything like that. That's not the tone I want to set. But I really do hope that this loss, if it comes to that, right, it doesn't really demoralize them or anything, right? I think this is just a fluke occurrence, and it's unfortunate. TI, you can win TI by fluking twice. You can also lose some playoff matches as well because of it. So it sucks. It really sucks here for Omega. I feel really bad for them.
I think that Mago should consider maybe doing some sort of cleansing ritual or something like that. He might have a unlucky spirit inside of him because it's the second match he has to miss due to extenuating circumstances. Yeah. So. I'm not just saying, maybe sometimes you're possessed. I'm not sure. I watched The Exorcist the other night. And
Did you actually?
Yeah, because I told you it was really funny, so you maybe want to watch it again. It's very, very fun.
I watched the Borat movie. That one's really funny too.
Borat?
No, Borat now. Matthew in some trouble. Is he going to end up actually dropping? Looking for the TP away. Disarmed. Yeah, good luck. We got this. See you later.
Lucky Shot is so stupid against Spectre, man. Spectre feels so helpless because even at any point in the game, all Spectre can do is really hit you, right? And Lucky Shot counter is the only thing you can do. It sucks, You might need to consider this game. I mean, I have seen Spectres like Kichu not go for BKB just because of the Lucky Shot.
I could see it this game, honestly, because
later
the problem is it doesn't help your illusions, right? So you won't be able to just TP in, Pout Manta on a support, and then haunt to a different one, and then just have the illusions make quick work of it, because you can still disarm the illusions, right? But I can see the point for the main Spectre.
Yep.
This game, though, it's not too easy because both of your actually supports are pretty good against. Oh wow, Ionis nearly dying though. Are pretty good at just tanking up a Spectre. At least early, right? Late game, no chance. Really, no support. Honestly, very few heroes in the game actually stand a chance if they're caught alone. As supports kind of normally have to position themselves. But with the Undying, Snapfire 2 strength hero is one of them. Incredibly tanky, especially with the ultimate active. So I could see a scenario where maybe a Manta into BKB is not that bad either.
I agree. I think that there's I wouldn't say Manta to BKB. I would say that Manta into like maybe Scotty and
and then BKB.
Like Scotty past your BKB, something like that. You have to consider as a late game possibility, but it is a possibility later on in the game. It also depends how much impact Paco has, how well Oscar can play. Because we have seen his axe, and his axe is out of this world. Oscar is by far to me the most standout, mechanically speaking, the most standout player.
I'm not gonna miss the death this time. Woosh is gonna kill himself. I don't want to miss it.
Come late though, there's a real kill. There's a real kill happening on Panda. Woo's killing himself, but Panda almost died. They're going for Matthew instead. Sacred doesn't want to commit here. Seriously, Gante just looks at him out of spite. He's like, "You just Lucky Shot at me. Watch later. I will kill you. I will skin you. You'll go from endangered to extinct." Sacred.
You want to cancel myself? I don't think so. How about a second Lucky Shot frag in a row?
He's getting quite lucky as well with these lucky shots. 17% chance. That means it happens 100% of the time in Dota.
17% chance is 50-50 chance. Either you get Lucky Shot or you don't, right?
That's it, right? Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's actually how probability works. It just depends on the amount of outcomes. That's why everyone in chat, you guys, 50-50 chance of going pro, guys. You either go pro or you don't.
Or you don't. I'm actually kind of curious. Someone actually brought it up in the chat. I wonder if maybe PP had a warm-up game number 1, and maybe this game he's going to feel a little more better. Maybe you get the jitters out in game number 1, although we'll see he's going to die, as I was hoping that it would be a little bit better. But, once PP maybe gets warmed up, it'll be better. Panda in some trouble. Sacred as well. Those are just deaths all over.
Watch him get the Lucky Shot in the one hit. No? Okay, that's coming in the bottom lane. Got this committing to this. The swashbuckle. Sacred gets away. My goodness, there's no hero that will tilt you more than playing against a Pango.
Yeah, that's true, but sometimes the Pango can even tilt himself, because if you disarm a neutral creep, you can't sack the camp. Oh, Sacred? Oh, great cookie up from Matthew. That's so frustrating. The guy that's been so close yet so far 3 times. If you can only get his hands on that Pangolier, I guess it's a Pangolin, I suppose, right? If I get my claws on that bird, if I get my... Well, Spectre would say it backwards and demented, but you get the idea. They were
at least they take bounties up top, and they actually end up having 2 bounties for each, which is not too awful considering Undying went for the bounties there, right? But the 2 losses in the bottom lane of Oscar and INS were huge, and we spoke about how difficult this lane was. Even Lina is not enough to mitigate the Undying's impact here. Oscar might just die again.
My goodness, power
They have the decay. Minos? Okay, Oscar's just gonna walk out. Yeah, that's easy.
He lives.
I mean, thanks to INS.
Yeah.
Wu cannot get the skill. Wu is committing though. There's a salve on Oscar. No, he's just healing a bunch because he has no strength. Wu with a magic stick. INS committing to this. You're getting a bit too much damage, INS, but he has his own stick. Oscar stayed around long enough to guarantee the kill on Wu, or at least be there to get some experience out.
Yeah, exactly. Being there for XP. It's funny enough, you say INS roams on in to at least save his life. Actually almost killed them, right? Because with Soul Whip, the more targets you have around, the more damage it does. So
that's true.
Funny enough, but he was fine. Luckily, the healing salve gave him enough HP. I think it would have been pretty close, but with the stick and the healing salve, he is A-okay, and that's all that matters right now. As maybe in those other timelines, it makes a bit more of a difference. PP in trouble in the mid lane. Nice route out from PP onto Leo, though. It's going to hold him down and allow him to live a bit longer. Oh, nice job baiting out the Resonant Pulse as well. And that's actually going to give PP the DD rune here. As INS nearly dying, actually, to Leo's style. It's going to go ahead and back off, but the DD rune active. Leo's like, hey, I want a bottle refill. Matthew's like, okay, here I am. Cool.
Yeah, it's like, guys, I lost one rune again, Leo? Okay, let me kill myself and block your lane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's fine. The Emperor, one of the advantages he has is that why I mentioned him or Void Spray is that as long as you play the hero well, you don't need that much team coordination, because usually the team is directing where you have to gank anyway, right? So you hit 6, you go and tell your team, Tingle says, and then the team will tell you, right, come top, come bottom, whatever.
Or just, farm mid, push the wave,
farm mid,
whatever.
And they'll direct you, and it's relatively easy to direct an Emperor because you can almost always do the right thing, right? The only difficulty about Emperor is did you pick the right build? I think in this game with Flame Guard, that's the safest build to go for anyway. It's pretty correct, so I'll take it. The problem though is this bottom lane has been absolutely useless for them, and they might have not considered this too hard. They needed Oscar on a comfort pick, and unfortunately a Dry Ranger kind of counters most of Oscar's comfort picks here.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, there's the first multi-shot proc, I think. Or sorry, multi-shot, I keep calling it that. Marksmanship proc, thank you very much. I confused my M's, as that's already being able to do a chunk of damage, right? Fortunately for Axe, once you do have the call, I mean, you're going to be well within range, so you're not going to get multi-shotted there, and all your armor is going to stay alive. So that's at least the hard counter, of course, but with the Undying Tombstone, it's just going to be so darn difficult. I think Axe is going to be a powerful tool this game here for the side of Omega. It's going to be up to him how he decides to use that tool and as to what he thinks is the best target to jump on here, because there's a lot of options. Now, I'm curious, because I've never seen this interaction before previously, because you can, of course, call magic immune targets with which Sacred is. So what happens if you call him as he's rolling by you? Is he unable to input commands, or...?
He can't move.
Okay.
It's like when you duel him or when you soul bind him, he just gets stuck there. Oscar, get away. Mingate tried to get for Minos, but the tombstone behind him. Mingate, yeah, he stayed there a bit too long. Luckily, he has Spectral Dagger, plays well with the shadows. Getting the tombstone, of course, without the farm, but it's impossible. Panda runs to the bottom lane. And when they do that smart, at least, is they take advantage of the rotation. They go, okay, we went bottom, we commit to this haunt, Axe go top, and now Spectre will have an easier time down bottom against Drow, because she does have an easier time. And PP even rotates to get counter kill, and this counter kill will be up Matthew. What are you gonna do against Mr. PP?
Yeah, when the PP comes for you, it's his, I mean, it's just a tough time there. Snapfire tries to get the Scatter Blast out, but that's going to be swiftly avoided by PP's Sleight of Fist, and a very good kill there indeed. Good rotation, just waiting on the high ground. And now they might get even a +1 here onto Wu. Has the Soul Rip and 8 stick charges, though. It's going to be a bit difficult, but he will be able to outrun this one quite easily, as now look who's back. It's Leo style. Good LSA there onto Wu. Oh, nice job. The 8th Remnant catching Mingate as he was hoping to TP away. Dissemblate, of course, gives you vision, I believe, over all of your circles. So he was able to very, very easily scout him, trying to hide in the trees.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's 2k lead still for Thunder Predator right now. These 2 kills, of course, add to it. The changing of lanes was a good idea, but in practice, it's just too difficult because Drow has farmed way too much, right? So Spectre versus Drow, not a bad matchup in lane, especially with Blade Mail. But now that she's farmed this much, we need some extra help to make sure this matchup is a bit more viable for Mingate. Now, I'm questioning Mingate. Ooh, he has to do the Walk of Shame now. Back to lane, where Spectral Dagger is being used just to get him there closer. At least up a smoke for him or something, right? I mean, I guess you don't want to waste them, but...
Yeah, the smokes this game actually pretty crucial for Omega, right? Because you also need some way to get Oscar back in the game, and a smoke can be a nice tool to invade the enemy jungle and set up for a call before you really have any items up on the Axe, right? Quite an item-dependent hero, this Axe, to be relevant to at least this game. Yeah, I think you do have to save the smokes. I think it's fine, right? Mingate takes a death, but he doesn't have to run too far to find a stack, and he'll be able to farm that up. I think you need to make sure you get space for your Space Maker first, as that's not going to help. 2 kills onto both supports. The Lore Sisters will go down. We have a kill in return. BP running on over to Sacred. The root onto 2. Matthew still has a cookie here ready to use, but Sacred is going to jump over the gap. Well, who's going to follow him? But BP, who needs a little bit more damage from the shield, will find it, but gets stunned by the cookie. Out from BP, now gusted away and bursted down by Matthew. Oscar was running to help in and hopefully trying to get something done here, but he actually might have taken a fall as well. Gets the call onto Leo Style as Panda will root him down, preventing him from disseminating. Not for long, though. He still does have it ready, and he's just going to be able to walk away underneath the tier 1 tower.
Still, though, is that BP? I think that was a little bit overly aggressive, right? It's these kind of plays that show the difference. Leo, though, will imitate his style, but like, yeah, you get the kill on Pango, which is kind of worth it. But he didn't
Oscar, is he okay?
Minos? Never mind, they baited Minos. That was all part of the plan. Look at Oscar. They have a hunt ready. And there's no way you get ahead. Oscar might die here, but Minos will as well, and that's a worthwhile trade as PP's back. And PP's ready to destroy Sacred, but Rolling Thunder's available in 3 seconds, and he has learned his lesson. There's no reason to play overly aggressive here. You need to play a bit more defensive. That trade was fine with the Pango, but getting punished afterwards didn't feel too great.
Yeah.
Still, though, that was a nice bait by Oscar. He kind of knows what Minos...
Yeah. I think it was a bait.
I think so, honestly, genuinely, because he knows how Minos plays, and Minos the kind of guy's like, oh, we can kill him. And he never considers, wait, can they kill me, though? He just goes in, tries to get the kill, and it works out sometimes.
It does, yeah. And we'll see how PP decides to play it. He's going to go for the drums. I know that's not an item you particularly enjoy seeing. That's the only reason I bring it up. But it's not a bad item. It's kind of, oh, do I want to fight? Do I want to farm? It's a little bit of indecisive item. I think you like to call that, right, the drums on a mid-lane Ember. As he is going to be queuing those up.
It's the mindless. I like to call it mindless. Indecisive is nice, but I like mindless better because I have hate drums. Like, I think it's the item which a lot of people buy when they're like, I need an item to transition. What's good? Yeah, drums is always good, right? But usually there's better options most of the time. I fight for transitional. Yeah, I like the Glimmer game much more.
I think it's okay if you don't really know how the game's gonna go. I think because he's playing a stand-in, he's probably just awaiting orders, and right now just wants something to make him efficient. Because you can still transition into the magic damage if you want here. You can go for physical as Sacred might be in some trouble. LSA will connect. No, actually it misses. Rooted down, and the freezing field will come through from Panda. He will be killed over by the kisses of Mortimer, as those do pierce the magic. Well, actually,
but they kill Sacred, though. That's a huge steal, right?
It is.
Like, murdering Sacred here, you're stopping the Pango from being too effective, and in turn, you're kind of evening out the 2 off-lane matchups, because Max got crushed. But Pango did quite well, and by doing this, you're making sure to stabilize this game a bit more. Mingate is struggling to farm the Ancients. He's like what your eyes are. You're eating with your eyes right now for Mingate. He wants all this farm, of course, but unfortunately he can't take it because he's still really low level on Spectre, which sucks.
Yeah. Mingate, yeah, he does need to go through a bit of a recovery phase for him. He's back into the fountain, has Haunted 40, but a TP ready to return and farm. Not quite having the Yasha yet, but it has the power tread, so it's going to be a little bit easier to farm from here on out at least.
Let's see. Wu. Oscar will die in the bottom lane. At least they can get a counter kill onto Wu, but here comes Minos trying to force PP away. But here are the drums. There's the power drums, right? They always help you with extra movement speed.
It's true.
The stats are always very nice, so that's why I will never disagree with the choice of drums. I just think usually there might be something better. Yeah. However, this game, when you're playing with a completely new team, sometimes the safe choices are the best, right?
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I totally understand. I think your point is more, well, if instead of the drums he used that money and because he needed physical damage and realized it a bit too late, instead went for blah blah blah, that's a bit efficient. I think that's obviously really true, and I think a wise player and a very experienced player will recognize these patterns earlier and then build better items earlier, right, in transition. But the drum's not bad. Good cookie from Mars. Call, though, to counter-initiate here from Oscar as they will connect the Sun onto 1. Oh, the Soul Rip, though, is going to prevent them from killing Sacred. They need a little bit more, and the Dragon Slave, right before he starts the Rolling Thunder, will do the trick. Mingate, though, still disarmed for a bit as the kisses to chase him down and away. Oh, nice job by Leo following up there for the kill onto Mingate. They had no way to save it. Now PP in the midst of everything here is going to get stunned by the cookie of Matthew. There goes Oscar as well. PP finally with the kill onto Wu, as here comes Minos now with the gust onto PP. Lands only 1 marksmanship proc as he will actually get a Remnants off and away, but they're still going to find him there. Multi-shot with a very, very balanced, large AoE.
Three deaths for Omega, but these are the 3 deaths on their cores, right? So that's what sucks the most here. You're seeing that Minos is constantly either not dying or they're gonna kill here for free for the bounty. Yeah, a bit desperate, right? But you can see they're desperate. And Leo himself is also doing incredibly well with a Yule Scepter now picked up. He's second net worth and can be a really powerful secondary carry. I don't know, a 6k lead already for Thunder Predator. This is not looking very good for them, for Omega.
Yeah, unfortunately, OG playing with a stand-in it's a bit tough for them here today. 1,000 gold needed for the Axe Blink, which might be able to make a difference here. Yasha is still not completed, and the Manta is pretty far off at this point here. I suspect they're still the most farmed on our team at the very least, but it's not saying much when Minos already has a 2k advantage, as I think that smoke probably wasn't scouted. It's nighttime, I don't think they saw him. And we'll see here as they're going to now look to invade the enemy jungle. Unfortunately, Thunder Predator, I think they read this quite well, and they're already all over in the enemy triangle camp. And they won't really be able to find much. Leo Style here positioning in a great spot here, as he actually doesn't have vision, so he was kind of at danger of getting jumped there in the river from the high ground, but he's going to find... Oh, he was waiting for the roommate. It spawns bottom, and it's going to be the Arcane, and now they're looking to fight here.
There's a smoke here by Thunder Predator, as you mentioned, looking to fight, but also looking for a gank, right? They can prevent the enemy carry. This is ideal. Can they initiate? They have Mortimer's Kisses, the Rolling Thunder. Mingate has nowhere to run. He's just gonna be dancing to his grave as Panda tries to save with a freezing field. Fair amount of damage towards the Void Spirit, but Simulate avoids it, and they end up killing Panda as well. Both kills from Matthew, who is really happy this game. His Mortimer's Kisses has been absolutely on point.
Yep. Good Scatter Blast there, of course. Pure magic, no, not pure damage, I shouldn't say pure, but just magic damage on that. No mixed damage, so nothing gets blocked by the bonus armor of the Maiden. No attack speed, slow that you have to contend with, and that's a quick and easy way to shut her up as Thunder. They're going to go and defend the tower. PP has the Remnant backing away, but INS will not be as lucky. This Fire Spirit, this Fiery Spirit, I should say, that will die as she is unable to actually use the Remnants.
Her flames extinguished.
Extinguished. Just be as dramatic as possible. All right, Oscar, this is a very dangerous place to be farming. Hopefully you can finish this little camp here.
Don't breathe, Oscar. Don't breathe. They don't see you.
Oscar. Oh no, he's so close to the Blink.
You said his name. Oh no, they heard you.
No.
They heard you, Seek. They found Oscar. Can he blink though?
No, he doesn't have it yet. And he's going to lose a bit of money. Yeah,
how do you feel, Seeking Strike? If you hadn't spoken so loudly...
Oh no, PP in the mid lane. He might die. The Gust found him. He's okay, good. He gets off the Remnant just in time, though. As running away from the vent, or from the Drow Ranger, doesn't really always end up working in your favor.
Omega's desperately trying to get back into this game, right? But it's hard to coordinate when you don't have big lane or as much. Especially because what are you going to do literally in the time, I guess, that you got PP in as well? Are you going to tell them how you think about Dota and your battle plans and everything?
Yeah.
Like, beyond what PP might know and not know and his issues as a mid laner, like, you can't teach him what you know about Dota and the way you view the game in 30 minutes, really. Despite you guys being friends, you might not talk about Dota as much.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's. I mean, there's no comparison, right, between having your own mid laner that you've meshed with for some time, that you played the entire group stage with, that you played Thunder Predator before with, right, and then having a last minute replacement. I mean, beyond even just being on the same page, it's just nothing compares, you know. It's even some of the non-verbal things you do in team fights that your teammates pick up on, right, in terms of positioning and how they like to play, things that you don't necessarily communicate over, that all of a sudden you just hard reset with a stand-in, you know. And that's probably just the beginning. I can only begin to imagine how difficult it can be here, and that's why it really sucks to see Omega, as we affectionately call them, OG, go down 10k already in this series, 20-9. It's starting to look pretty bad for them here at this point. We do have at least an item for Oscar. It's on the way. It's going to be the Blink Dagger. We'll see here. Team fight can always try and turn you the game, is what we like to say here.
It is possible with an Axe, right? That's one of the advantages of having an Axe in your team, and he has Blink Dagger now, I believe. It's on the card here. So this is, if they have a chance this game, it's off this, right? In Omega, I mean, they're a really good team at playing from behind. I know it sounds like I'm just trying to fake hype this game, but honestly, they won a lot of games when they're playing from behind in the group stages and doing so as well. I mean, unfortunately not in the playoffs, but they show great progress. They understand the space in the map quite decently, and it's usually just small mistakes that bring them down. So
yeah,
tactically, they have a good idea.
You're right. You're right. Hopefully they can try and train PP to play it from behind as well here, because that's going to be the difficulty here. in terms of you know, because that takes a lot of strength, and it's on a core, right? If it's easy, you can just go, oh, it's a position forward, just jump in, put your ulti, you know who to silence, right? But on a mid laner, and one such as the Ember Spirit, who can really dictate the pace of a fight, and his target priority is quite important, you know, there's just a few more things that you need to get right here. And already, it's going to be Panda, who will take a death, uses the wand charges to try and live a bit longer, and forces out more utility at the very least, but will not be able to live.
11 gain out of Thunder, and they're looking to harass you or destroy your high ground. I mean, they have an Aegis on the Drow Ranger and a lot of push. That's the issue as well. If you play against Drow, there's nothing stopping this hero from playing this quickly.
Yeah, we'll see here as it's going to be Mingate doing his best to push other lanes here, trying to finish off the Manta style. Will have it if he sticks around for the wagon, but honestly they need him for the home defense already here as the tier 3 tower already crumbling. Down it goes. They've caught PP as well with the Aether Remnant. See here as it looks like a little bit of a wraparound play out from Oscar. I'm not sure if they have scouted the Blink Dagger here. This could be the one to try and turn it around. For now, though, taking a bunch of damage is PP, just getting harassed by Minos as the rest of Thunder will smoke up. There's a kill onto Panda, just, you know, Minos right-clicking him to death. This Tombstone provided a nice buffer space as there's the Haunt. They're going to go for it. Axe calling onto the backlines. They found Matthew. Going to try and burst through one, but the Soul Rip keeps him alive, as will the Mechanism, and now the Rolling Thunder on in, just shutting down Oscar. BP dies there to the right clicks out from Minos as they're going to keep alive, being got that just by the Yule Scepter, but the GG will be dropped. Oscar throws in the towel, wishes good luck there to Thunder. Predator will be moving on.
You can even tell that Omega is not having a good time. I'm very happy for Thunder, but I think this lower bracket match should have gone much different. I am sad that we don't get to see the full display that is Omega in these playoffs entirely.
Yeah, it's just it's a shame, unfortunately, here. Of course,